Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here, and welcome to some, well, it's not really, well, at the moment it's not a game, but shortly it will be. Star Citizen. Now, I think there's a lot of reasons actually to take note of this. First of all, what makes a good game and makes a game very good is the community. And Star Citizen have started on the right foot. Their communication is very good to the audience and the people that subscribed and sort of, committed to the project. Now, Star Citizen is basically a community-driven project where the community donate and they set milestones, and then when their milestones hit, they build that part in the project. Now, I think it's probably going to be in the Guinness Book of Records. I think it already is as well, for the one of the very first games to generate a massive amount of money. I mean, I think they're on 28 million at the moment. It's absolutely insane amount of money. I think the target's around about 30 million. So there's not long left before that they've hit all the objectives. Now, the first, obviously, 3 or 4 objectives were hit a long time ago. So we're expecting to see something. When I say see something, the next step, which should be probably dogfights and attacking, which will be probably in around about, they're saying December, maybe January, but we'll wait and see. Now, how does it actually work? Well, currently what you have to do, let's go for a little walk around, I'll show you. Currently, to actually be a part of it, all you've got to do is go to the website, and there's a couple of packages there you can go for. And I ain't gonna lie to you, it's bloody expensive, guys. It's not by far cheap, but what you're actually getting involved in is probably going to be something quite special. I think it's going to be something where it's going to have longevity. I don't think it's going to be something that you play for 5 minutes and you're done. Now, it revolves around the ships, obviously. Ships and collecting resource or killing or exploring. It involves every part of it, but it revolves around the ships and the hangars and that sort of stuff and building up your, your empire as such. Now, there's going to be, I think, 42 galaxies. It's going to be huge. Absolutely a massive open world. Where you can do solo missions, so do like, AI missions. You can do cooperative missions with other people. You can, it's going to PvP. You're just going to have the whole sort of genre in there. So there's going to be plenty to do. Now, as it stands at the moment, what they're saying is look, if you contribute, what we're going to do is we're going to give you the hangar, give you your ships, the ships that are available at the moment. You can take them around and look around the ships, but you can't leave the hangar. So, it's a little bit odd, but, at least you've got to look at it this way. If people have donated, so far as a community, 28 million, you can't not give them nothing, because obviously, you just can't do that. But let me point out, the hangars, I think this game architecture that I'm running around in the moment is clearly not the end result. This is not what it's going to be, These visual effects and the graphics will be, but I think the core architecture of the actual game engine, although it uses the Cryo Engine 3, I think they're going to spend a lot more time, because at the moment, I mean, there's a door here, and I think you're going to have the ability to build doors off the hangar, so we'll have to wait and see for that. But at the moment, obviously, it runs on the Cryo Engine 3, so fantastic engine. It's that sort of, if you played like Crysis 3 and loads of the games that use the Cryo Engine 3, then you know what type of graphics that you use, or it's what sort of tool set. I think that's the right word. It's that sort of, it's very good. It has, the lift's coming up. Just going for a little tour around. It has great, graphic capabilities. And I think actually, do you know what? Out of all the games that have actually decided to use the Cryo Engine 3, I think actually this is probably going to fit into the Cryo Engine 3 better than anything else, because it's that sort of blocky, sort of space futuristic sort of thing. Well, and that's why it worked well with Crysis and Crysis 3. Now, how the packages work? Right, the packages work. You go onto the site. You've got to buy a hangar first of all. You need the hangar. You've got to sign up, get a hangar. Get a sort of a contribution package, and then you can pick one of the ships. And each ship has its own sort of trait as such. So some ships are, racers, some ships are explorers, some ships are, executive vehicles, some of them are fighters, and you get the whole sort of spectrum there of what you want to do. And I don't think there is any particular wrong route to go down. It's just personal preference. Now, I'm not going to lie. To get these 2 ships in this hangar, It was very expensive, guys, but you don't have to go down the route I did. But I've invested in it because I'm the sort of person that if someone makes a good game and they show that they're competent, and I will put up with things that are bad in a game on the basis that it's going to be resolved, as long as the company are showing that, you know, they're communicating with you, they're listening to what you're saying, and so far they're really good. I'm, you know, you sort of expect that. They're a community driven anyway, so they should be like that, but they're doing the right thing at the moment, you know. And so far, from the very small amount that you actually get, it is very impressive. The graphics, even at this basic level, look pretty good. Now, the ship that I've gone for, now there's, in this class, this is the 300 series, this is we're going to call it the executive series of ships. Now, there's 3 types you can actually go for in the executive series. You can go for the 315P, which is basically an Explorer with less guns, and it has better engines for flying a further distance. Then you've got the 325A, and this is the 325A. Now the 325A will do long distance, but the engines are not as good as the 315. And in the 325A, this has got a better shield regenerator, because this one's a little bit more geared to I'm going to blow you up sort of scenario. This is an executive vehicle that can quite easily take out a fighter. Well, easily, but you know, it'd be a good match for them. So you're not sort of totally vulnerable in this thing, if you know what I mean. And then you've got the 350R, and the 350R is it's a racer. You know, it's not made for really long distances. It's more around racing and speed, which you could use it to your advantage to get away from people who are attacking you. You know, each their own. So, you know, I went for the 325. It's a little bit more expensive than 315, but you know, I felt that actually I'd rather have the extra weaponry on board. Now, on board, you can see what it's got. Laser cannons, missiles, pretty much everything you can probably think of, really. But like I said, this is we're going to call it the executive. This is sort of the posh one of them all, really, I would say. We'll take a look inside. Now, the animation's fantastic. I mean, even at this raw state. So we're just going to go. I'm in. Now, this has we're going to say, it's got this sort of cargo hold area. Now, I think what they're going to be adding in there, although these are here now, they're not completed models. So I think these are going to be pull-out beds. I can't be 100% certain. And I'm hoping to better use all this stuff, like the fire extinguisher. You know, I might catch on fire while I'm out, because I might come under attack. I'm hoping to use the fire extinguishers. I hope it goes into that, you know, that sort of detail. Now you can see sort of a bit of leather padding around here, makes it look a bit nicer. And then what we'll do, we'll jump in the seat now. You know, take a look at the controls. Go to first person. There we go. Now you can actually mouse control, joystick control, and it's got capability of Xbox 360 controller as well, which is nice, because if you're using something like if you're using stick controls to actually control the ship, you know, you're very limited on keys, because you can only, if you hold left, it's 100% left. You can't do 2% left. You can't even do 10% or 50%. It's just all left. So, you know, having something like an Xbox controller, I mean, that's entry level, but you know, if you've got a good flight stick, it's fantastic. It looks good. Quite impressive. Jump out of there. Now, best of both worlds I've gone for. I've gone for the executive tourer stroke fighter, which is this one. And I've also got, I'm not even going to take the steps, I'm just going to jump. I've also gone for the, well, I don't know what bracket I would actually put this into. I would actually say that really this is it's the Freelancer. That's what it's called. It's actually I'll explain that in a minute. I don't want to sort of, actually I'll explain it now. What they're actually doing with the ships. Each ship has got its own shipbuilder, and the shipbuilder might be a race or a manufacturer. So any ships that are released by that shipbuilder will have them sort of traits and then similar designs to that sort of ship. Now at the moment this one's under miscellaneous, or miss, so I don't know if that is actually the brand, or is that, I don't know, haven't decided yet, not quite sure. Now this actually, I would say that this one actually falls into a few categories. Long distance explorer, It's got guns. It can defend itself. But obviously if it comes against a fighter, it's going to be a bit of a problem. But it's got a big cargo hold. It's not the biggest. I think it does something like 55,000 kilograms. So it's not the biggest. I think there's some go up to 80. I think the Caterpillar is around about 68, I think it is, if I remember rightly. So this is basically, I wanted something where I could just go, I could do the executive fighter, you know, short range for maybe resources or collect things that are maybe don't have massive tonnage. And then I've got this one, which is my long distance explorer, and this will be used for exploring missions and also just traveling long distances. Now inside, very big inside this one. Now let's walk around this way. We have a couple of bunk beds, so more than one crew in here, so which is nice. I'm not 100% certain yet. 2 seats, so I think one of them might be gun controls and one might be pilot. I'm hoping it is. So what I'm hoping to do in this is maybe do some 2-player missions in there, you know, with some subscribers and some other people when that comes along. Have a quick look around while we're here. It's got quite a good viewing angle here. Not the best in the world, but like I said, it's Explorer. It's not really made for, you know, close combat sort of thing. And then down the back here, just open this back door up. I'll go in the first person, I should do really. Oh, wrong one. Open the doors up. Now, so this is the cargo hold. Now, obviously, the advantage with this as well, it has a rear door. I'm going to open. So, yeah, a vehicle in the back as well. A vehicle or some sort of transportation vehicle or something on the lines of that. It's quite, you know, there is small vehicles at the moment, but the more hangar vehicles really than purpose-driven ones. I don't know, digger. I don't know whatever's going to go in the back here yet, but I've got the space to use that. You know, like I said, if you're going a long way and you're going to need to take some equipment with you. I mean, you could think of it this way. You could go, let's say, for instance, if you and one of your friends, you know, want to go and collect some resources, you might want to take a good fighter with you to defend you. But the idea with these ones, really, you want to be stealthy. You don't want to be sort of getting near any enemies or anything like that, really. You know, you want to be heading to your location, getting what you wanted, and then move out. You don't want to be confrontational. At the same time, you've got the weapons on here, so you know, worst comes to worst, you could defend yourself. The guns are pretty good. So best of both worlds there, really. I mean, this that one was, I'm not going to say that was cheap. That was expensive, but this was a lot more. But I'm willing to. I'd rather invest in something that actually I see that's got future potential. I think it's going to be good. And do you know what? Sometimes it is a bit of a gamble. You know, there's 28 million pound been donated, or dollars, sorry, been donated so far. So we've got to go on the basis that, you know, they must be doing something right to generate that sort of revenue in the first place. So I'm willing to go along for the ride and make that little bit of investment and make it a little bit easier for them. Because, you know, I see this actually being quite a good game, and I actually quite like looking forward to it already. I mean, even with the basics that you get so far, it's pretty impressive. Now, modifying the ships. You can modify the ships as well, and I'll show you over here. Look at it, run over here. There's a few little panels as well, but we can look at them in a second. Now, this is the sort of we can call it the HUD for actually ship modifications. Oh, was the wrong button there. And basically from here, what you can do, let me just get the right button. Is it caps? Yeah, it was caps. Now, obviously, I've got my ships here, so I can pick let's say this ship, drag it over into the center. Then I can move over to weapons, and then you can go through all the weapons that it's got bolted on the side. You can rotate the ship round. You get the idea. So I'm sure at some point you're going to be able to upgrade the cannons, and as you gain new technology and you know, explore new areas, that you can upgrade these weapons for different weapons. I'm hoping as well, I mean, there's going to be options on Shimagin as well to upgrade the engines, but that's going to have a decrease on something else. You know, you get the idea. The thruster, obviously in this one, this cargo hold doesn't really exist anyway. There's only a small bay there, but let's take this one out now. Let's go back to the start. Ships, there we go. And the center again. Move this one in. Same scenario. Obviously, the weaponry on this one's obviously a lot less. So Sound effects are slightly annoying, but I'm sure they're going to sort it out. Weapons there, rockets there as well. For some reason, the rockets are not actually selectable, which is a little bit strange. But like I said, I don't even think this is not even alpha or beta. This is just a demo. You know, it's before even that point. I don't really know what's on that one. Really, can't see anything there. Thrusters, cargo hold. Oh look, it's there. Look, there's power there. Look, that thrusters. Oh right, okay. Interesting. Cargo hold and so on. Now, oh, that's sort of just to give you a sort of a you know, a rough insight to show you what, you know, what's going to be happening. I mean, even at the early stages, like you can see that we're going to be able to modify most of this stuff. Now, I've actually went through. I'm proper diehard here, guys. I watched every single one of the weekly videos on the actual game to get an understanding of, you know, what we're actually going to be able to do. Oh, actually, one thing I didn't tell you actually, which is, I would say it's quite important. I can fit one on here if I have to. The 315, which is more like the Explorer, has a tractor beam at the front. Here, mounted at the front. And that's the other difference as well. And this one's obviously got the cannon on the front there. Now, that's not saying that I can take that laser beam off, take that gun off and put the tractor beam on the front. Of course I can. But I've just opted for the more executive long range sort of, you know, tacking sort of one because I sort of preferred that. And, you know, it's personal preference at the end of the day. I'm sure all the ships there are going to make the game good fun for you and enjoyable. But for me, I've picked the ultimate ones that I wanted, you know, out of all of them. I could have gone for the Caterpillar, but actually, do you know what? I just preferred that. I just like the mechanics of it and how it works and how it looks like. And particularly this one, I suppose at the moment it's my favourite. Now, like I said, I've gone through all the videos and customization of ships is going to be there. Painting of ships is going to be there. Adding clan logos is going to be there, but they're looking to see how they're going to improve that because obviously they don't want people putting like X-ray stuff on the ships and stuff like that. But you know, and all that sort of stuff's going to be added in. There's going to be, you know, single-player missions and multiplayer missions. You know, there's going to be all sorts you can actually do in the game, and I think it's one of them ones where you can just jump in, you know, fly around. I mean, I think between the actual planetary systems, it's going to be so far. They reckon it'd take you to fly there. It would take you, like, you know, days and days and days and weeks. So there is these sort of, I don't know if they're called wormholes. I can't remember what the bloody name was, but sort of ports where you can go through and then you move to that planetary system faster. But you would still have to travel around it within that area. So it's not like you're, you know, just jumping around everywhere. And also, further down the line, what they're going to do, they're saying that, you know, they're going to be adding in resource that didn't at the moment, let's just say for instance, doesn't exist in the environment. So what that would do is then someone might manufacture something with that resource and then bring new technology into the environment. So it's going to be evolving as the game goes on and people do more exploring and find things and build things. You know, things are going to change and things are going to become more expensive. Now, you can sell as well. You can sell your resource. If you choose to go down the line of just, you know, getting loads of resources, you can sell that and make money. I think you can sell it to NCP or you can also sell it to other players. Not quite sure how the buying and selling system is going to work yet because there's no examples. I haven't seen any videos neither, but like I said, I mean, as a starting base, now you've got to look at it as a game. Of all the games now I look at, don't get me wrong, Battlefield 4, yeah, okay, the rollout's been buggy and this sort of thing, but look, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, there's nothing groundbreaking there. I'm not seeing anything epic there. It's another first-person shooter. Yeah, okay, I'm not dissing the game because there's obviously millions and millions of people who love it and think it's great, but all I'm saying is look, these guys are trying something different, not just different. They're doing it so far from what they've released. Even though this hangar, guys, it's buggy. You know, I'm running I'm running a GTX 690, and I overclocked my CPU to about 4.9 gigahertz, and I'm getting around about 50 frames a second. And I ran this at home on my GTX 765, and I was getting 7 frames a second. So. And that was on low settings, but I'm running on high at the moment. I can't run on maximum because believe it or not, the 690 runs I've never had a problem with the 690 before. It's just the game's not optimized yet, guys. So you know what you've got to expect at the moment is, you know, you're going to there's loads of rockets there, aren't there? What you've got to expect at the moment is what you're getting is a hanger and just the opportunity to see what you've pledged in at and bought and what you're going to have when the game rolls out. So, something I'm really looking forward to, and I'm actually quite enjoying watching all the videos and seeing how it's going, as the game sort of rolls out. And there's going to be lots more ships and vehicles and all sorts of stuff as well. You can add in, which is going to make the game, it's going to give it a lot of substance. And I think with the CryoEngine 3, I'm hoping that space is going to look very good. I've seen people doing hacks as well to get outside and to take off and this sort of thing, but there's no sort of point really doing that because you're not necessarily experiencing the mechanics of space and what it's going to be like because it's not even exist and been there. It's not even there properly yet and it hasn't been fully developed, so what's the point? Now, I think there's around about, I'm not sure how many days left. I reckon you've got about a month left before you can actually, get one of the pledges. Because from what I noticed, I refreshed the screen where the pledges were being made, and within that time, there was about 5,000 people had already pledged within sort of 9 hours. So it's going to go very quick. I reckon within a month, then all the pledges and all the slots are going to be gone. I think it's around about 500,000 people at the moment, or 325,000. Sorry, that's more like it. Now the other thing you can actually do as well, you can go over here and change your character model. So I haven't actually done this yet, but here we go. Now at the start of the game, you can actually pick your character set. What you want to be, explorer. You get the idea, blah blah blah. But I don't think it actually inhibits or affects what you're doing if you actually pick a raider or you pick what you pick. I think you can still do resource. You can still do all that stuff. So. Like I said, I picked this one just because, I don't know, no particular reason. The character model looked quite good and I thought, yeah, I'll go with this one. So, not the longest video in the world, but I think definitely see some more. I'm actually, out of all the games that I see that are coming out over the next sort of year or so, this is the one for me, guys. This is the one I'm actually really looking forward to. I'm just looking forward to taking the ships out. I'm looking forward to see, just these models already look fantastic. I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen inside the ships. What are we going to be able to do? I'm looking forward to doing co-operative missions with other subscribers as well. That'd be great if you can defend me while I'm picking up my cargo in my big bus. That sort of stuff. It's going to be really, really good fun. I'm really looking forward to it. So go take a look at the site. I've put a link in the about down the bottom. Like I said, it is expensive, but if you want to be a part of it, grab yourself a ship. You can go for a cheap ship if you want to. Doesn't really matter. And then you can be a part of it. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, short video today. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.